Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay, so grab a brush, grab some models, grab some paints, and paint along with me. Let's rid our world of unpainted models and get some work done. Yes. And in this week's episode, I will be continuing to work on some Retribution of Syra. Some evil elves from War Machine. And yeah, they are the different ones from last week. I've already finished those guys up, and now I'll be working on some new guys. So I'll continue with them, talking about my day. By the way, it is Black Friday today, so please, if you haven't seen the announcement, for this weekend only, Warp subscriptions, the monthly subscriptions to the Warp, are half off. So you should go check it out because it's a great time to join the Warp if you've been considering it. Also, it's a great way to support my videos, obviously, and they're half off, so it'd be great. You save a lot of money in the long term, so go check it out. And yeah. Let's get started on this week's Painting with Jay. So hey everyone, welcome back. I have a bit of a cold today, as you can probably tell in my voice. That's okay, I'll keep doing this. I'll just cough a little bit. I always get sick at this time of year when the temperatures are changing. It's all good. So today, as you can see, I'm working on these new guys. They're like archers of some sort. I don't even know the names. I really should know the names since I'm painting them, but I don't. That's okay. So right now I'm going to take basically I'm doing the same thing as last week because a lot of these color schemes are very similar on the models. So I've already prepared them by hitting them with a couple different colors of blues from different angles with an airbrush. And then I gave them a satin varnish. And now I'm going to post shade them with a shade. Dragon of Night shade right now. So that's cool stuff. And I'll talk about this week and the future and stuff. And all that good jazz. Yep. The previous guys are done, so that's good. My friend is now going to have, I think it was 12. Yeah, 12 painted more models painted, so that's good. And he'll be happy. I don't know if he's going to come in December. He hasn't contacted me or anything, but if he does come, he'll be pleasantly surprised at how many models he has. It's always good. So, and it is commission technically. But I don't charge very much for him because he's a friend and I don't like mixing business with pleasure. Yeah. So, yeah, today's goal was just to shade them all and then probably start on the green areas after that. Yeah. And as I said, so this week, obviously, today's Black Friday. And my contribution to Black Friday is the Warp is 50% off today. And tomorrow and Sunday. And if you really would like to, a way to support my videos, the Warp is definitely a way of doing it. Because the more the Warp makes, the more I can put towards free content and keep going, This week you got a few videos so far, besides the announcement video, obviously, that the Warp is half off. You got a battle report, which I'll talk about in a sec. And Miniature Painting 101. This video, and I will try my best. I really, really, really want to get a Q&J up tonight. So, yeah. So that'll be good. By the way, for those who don't know, Black Friday, in certain parts of the world, I guess it may exist, in certain parts it may not exist. Black Friday is just a big shopping day in Canada, and the United States, and Britain, and all those things. The reason why they call it Black Friday was it's typically the first day of the season in which shops would go into the black and make a profit. The term, being in the black for profit and being in the red for losing money. So, yeah, that's the meaning of that. So if you'd like to help support my videos, definitely please go check out The Warp. It's I think you'll love it. I have a lot of content there, over 300 videos at the moment, and I add more pretty much every day, or 4 to 5 days a week, So, it's a great, I think it's a great YouTube channel. It has over 75 painting tutorials, including this week's. I'll show it after. This week I painted up a Basilica Administratum. The tutorial will be going up later tonight. Probably before this video goes up, it'll be up, probably. So, it'll be good. It was a lot of fun to paint up. It looks a little Christmassy, but it's okay. my color selection. I kind of ended up a little Christmassy theme, but I can't complain. It was good. I like painting terrain. I haven't painted much terrain lately. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. Took a lot of gold, as you'll see on it, but it was a lot of fun to paint up. I don't get to paint up much terrain, and I gotta get more terrain. My goal is in the new year, shortly into the new year, I want to purchase the Citadel Realm of Battle table. I know it's really ugly for dice rolls, but I have a couple dice trays, so that should minimize the amount of cocked dice, because I've seen it. It's terrible for cocked dice. So. Yeah. But that'll be good. And then that way I can mix up my battle report terrain and have more interesting battle reports ultimately. I have decided that I'm going to focus on some Necron stuff after this wave of not like this particular wave of 8 miniatures, but after I'm done painting up a lot of Retribution for my friend, I'm going to go back to Necrons in the new year. And yeah, I played it with Necrons the other day, and they were a lot of fun. It was an interesting battle report, and obviously it wasn't the most competitive list I ran. My opponent didn't bring the most competitive list. But, oh my goodness, Maelstrom of War. So Dark Angels, there's a card that just is so broken for the Dark Angels. Most of the special cards for each army, there's like 2 good ones, and the rest are kind of nah, right? And a lot of them are silly, like Grey Knights or whatever. Grey Knights have one, I think Imperial Knights have one, where you just, as soon as you draw the card, your opponent picks something and always screws you over with it. Like Grey Knights, your opponent picks an objective, and you have to score that objective this turn, which is really, really hard. Because if your opponent has objectives secured, you basically can't do it, right? He'll always pick the one that, or she will always pick the one that's impossible to get to. And same with like one of the other cards, Imperial Knights or Space Marines have a card where your opponent chooses a squad and you have to kill it this turn. Again, you pick the hardest squad to deny your opponent the rules. But Dark Angels have this really silly card, and I think it's silly. Like it's so broken. So Dark Angel cards in general, you don't have to show to your opponent. There's a secrecy with them. So if you draw your card and you notice it's a Dark Angel card, you don't actually have to show it to your opponent, regardless of the rules of the Maelstrom of War mission. So you don't need to show it to him. And one of the cards, or her, but you know what I'm saying. And one of the cards is really, 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 really broken. Because all you do is you choose an objective, and you can choose a turn. And if you score that objective like 2 turns later, you get D3 plus 3 points. That's huge. Like, up to 6 points for holding an objective 2 turns later, and that's not hard to do. Because your opponent doesn't know you have the card. It doesn't look conspicuous to be camping on an objective. Like, as you see most games I've played, me or my opponent always has some squad camping on an objective, because it just saves you time with the Maelstrom War game, because Maelstrom War is about objectives during the game. Right? Not about jumping on an objective after the game, or at the end of the game. And so your opponent just stands there, usually with like an insignificant squad on this objective, and then 2 turns later they get D3 plus 3 points. And every time I played with them, or against them, that card has been the bane of my existence. Because you can get 6 points so easily, you know? And, or even guaranteed 4, on average 5 points. So easily. And your opponent has no idea it's coming. So that is a really, really broken card. Now, if your opponent knew that you had that card, it would balance it very easily, because then your opponent can try to do something to prevent it. Like every other card in the game, right? Your opponent usually has an opportunity to prevent things by knowing your hand, unless it's the mission that you don't know each other's hands, right? But Dark Angels, you just don't know it. And so that card is really, really broken, in my opinion. It's a very, very powerful card. And both times I played with Dave, that card has come up and he scores like 6 points on each one. And it's just like... And Maelstrom is, you can get points back, but it's really hard to recover from 6 points from a single card. You know, that's like domination level. So. But, yeah. So I gotta get Necrons. I gotta get the Decurion detachment together to see if I can try it out and see how competitive it is and how fun it could be and stuff. That'll be good. And I'm almost have a Decurion detachment. I just gotta build some, what are they called? I was gonna say Riptides, but no, not them. Tomb Raider, no, Tomb Blades. Tomb Blades. I was gonna say Tomb Raider, no, wrong one too. I took some cold medication earlier. I guess it just started kicking. My mind is going. So it's pouring rain today, but of course, in Canada, you have to schedule your winter tires like weeks in advance because once it starts snowing, people book it up instantly. So I had my winter tires put on today. And that's good. Of course, it's raining. It's like plus 11 degrees today, but it'll be starting to snow probably really soon. So. Yeah. Wow, this is not going to take very long at all. We're only 10 minutes in today, and I'm already done shading. So, yeah, it'll be a good, I think this is going to be a good day's worth of work today. I'll get a lot done. Then I'll do greens next, and a bunch of skin tones, because these guys all have skin tones on them. I didn't go shopping today, or technically I was at Canadian Tire. That's where my tires were getting switched over, Canadian Tire. And I didn't even remember it was Black Friday, so I was like, why is it so busy today? And I thought, oh yeah, it's Black Friday. So that was silly. But I scheduled it weeks ago and I didn't remember it was Black Friday today. Good, he's done. So now I'm going to take some raw flesh and paint some green areas. Last week I was painting 12 guys. This week I'm only painting 8. So I should get 50% more work done, hypothetically. So 2/3 the amount of guys. Yeah. These guys look good. I think my friend's going to really like these guys. These guys are one of the ones that kick my butt when I play against them. If I'm scorned. I've not purchased, to be honest, I've not purchased a lot of War Machine models in the last year and a half. Because I only play War Machine with my friend Andy. There's not a really big meta for it in this area. So I could drive, but I'm busy on weekends because I work weekends typically. So, but I like War Machine. It's a pretty good game. I still prefer 40K, but obviously I give respect to War Machine and Hordes. Yeah. Right now I'm just gonna thin it down with some Lamy Medium. So yeah, I'm going to get my Necrons up to snuff in the next few weeks. I'll start probably in the new year. I'm thinking I might dedicate a few more weeks of the year because we're still in November. So if I do my last, 4 painting with J's, well, there's going to be at least 3 more painting with J's. If I do all 3 of them on these guys, that'll be... on these, like on some Retribution of Syra, I'll get some guys done. And if and when I see my friend Andy in the future, I'll have a bunch of new guys. And that's good. Sorry, as you see here, I'm just taking some raw flesh and painting in the green areas, which is the cloth. Is that supposed to be cloth? I don't know. I'll leave it not. That way it'll look cool. Probably is cloth. It'll be okay. Yeah, these guys are cool. So what happened over my last week? It's not been a very eventful week, just a lot of working as normal. Let me think. So my job, they've been really cracking down at my other job, about festivitiness. We're not supposed to be like, we can't wear Christmas hats or something right now. Not yet. So I decided I need to book off a couple days for Christmas time, because obviously I'm going to my family and something, and and I'm obviously going to be driving a lot. Christmas time is normal, and so I need to book off the days. And I figured it would be a goofy J way to book it off in a funny fashion, and so I did. I booked off the days in the style of a Christmas poem to the tune of basically it's like the night before Christmas. And I did that. I'm not going to recite it or anything. But, yeah, it was pretty funny. My bosses I don't think they really appreciated it, but I liked it. I'm a goof. So that's pretty much all the green. You know what? I'll probably do this green, that middle part. Oh, I guess the pants would be green. Yeah. I might change that color. I'm going to probably paint that over brown later. I think brown would be a better color for it. Yeah, I'll do green sleeves and then brown for the little for his quiver of arrows. So, as I said, I apologize if I sound depressed today. I'm not depressed at all. Just my nose is clogged. Yeah. Yeah, I think Andy's gonna really like these guys. So. It's been a really good year. Honestly, I was looking over what I accomplished this year, and 500 videos went out this year that I put out. Unique videos, so I'm not double counting the warped videos that eventually ended up for free. A lot of videos, 500 videos. I was a busy bee. Cool. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit more. Better. Busy bee. So, this was my first year really dedicating myself to my videos. Before I left Mini Wargaming, I still made videos, but not as many, obviously. But this year, I've made 500 videos worth. That's a lot of videos, and I'm really proud of that. On average, 10 videos a week. So, obviously some weeks more, some weeks less, but that's a good accomplishment, I think. Good accomplishment. And I think 2016, yeah, that's the next year. Sorry, not 2014. It's going to be a great year, too. I don't think I'm going to go on as many adventures, unfortunately. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to go to Adepticon. I signed up a week early, so I'm definitely registered and going to Adepticon. And I'll be doing some chibi painting. I'm going to a class for chibi painting. I really should have, maybe I could have probably taught a class that kind of fun. I was thinking about it afterwards, I'm like, ah. But the thing is, it would be hard for me to, the only thing I could have probably easily taught a class in would have been, making videos in miniature wargaming or something. And it's not that hard, and, but I have a lot of experience doing it, obviously, and, but it would just be hard to move all the equipment, right? I need to bring lights and cameras and all that stuff and action. I'm like 20 minutes in. That's crazy. I really should stop after this. I'm running out of green, and I'm thinking I might switch colors. I realized afterwards that these bandanas that I'm painting over are going to be covering a lot of the faces. So I probably should be painting the face first, and then paint the green, right? That's okay. Because typically you should paint outwards, but it'll be okay. I'll go carefully later. It'll all be good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 500 videos this year. Like, that's crazy. It's been a good year. I just gotta keep focused and working hard. I really do. Because I'm still not at the point where I can do this for a living. And that's my goal. So as I said, if you really want to help support me, join the Warp or support my Patreon campaign. Both of them have links in the description below. I think I'm worthy of people's support. I do work hard, really hard. So, yeah. Did I miss that spawn on him? I did. Yeah, the battle report was fun. I filmed it on Monday, and I put it up the next day because I didn't have a battle report this week for the content. It was fun. I had a fun time playing against Dave. His Dark Angels are usually quite strong because he has a lot of options. And they bring a lot of stuff. And yeah, he didn't know what army he was bringing. I didn't know what army he was bringing, really. And it was just funny that he ended up with that one bomber. That one bomber is so broken against Necrons, as you saw, because it's blind. And blind is just the most insane rule against Necrons, because they're, universally initiative 2. So you can blind a squad of Necrons really easily. 2/3 of the time it'll blind them. So. Yeah, I really should do the skin. I'm gonna stop the green after this guy, and start the skin. Actually, I want to use the rest of the green. I don't want to waste any of it. Plus, this guy is is mostly exposed face, not covered face. Yeah, we're not even halfway for the day, so it's gonna be a good episode. Already halfway through the greens. What else is new? Montkai, I believe, comes out today, or whatever. So Monfa, the new supplements. That'll be good. It's hard. I was debating about doing a review on them. Probably won't, because they're pretty expensive. But yeah, it's cool stuff. More rules. There's a lot of rules coming out for 40K. That's the thing. It's almost impossible to keep up with the rules of 40K. Because all the supplements and everything that goes, out and stuff. And I know a new Riptide. There's a new Riptide formation, I believe, in the book. So that's interesting. I hope it doesn't get split fire. That'd be the most broken thing. A squad of Riptides with split fire would just kill everything. Because they're basically a point and kill unit, or a point and click. They automatically kill whatever they're firing at most of the time. If there's 3 of them. So yeah. There's an interesting discussion the other day on the Peterborough Warhammer 40K Facebook group about ITC or IITC, the International Tournament Committee, or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Any of the big tournaments usually have the same rule set, and they're IITC or ITC. And the thing is with IITC is that a lot of the time they vote on ambiguities or interpretations, and I don't know what to think about that. I really don't. I don't know, because I understand that it does, help clarify the rules, for sure, but because essentially they create their own FAQs, right? So I'll take a break from green for a second. I work a bit on the flesh tones because I need to get the flesh tones done before these bandanas on the face. So I will start with rat skin flesh and get the hands and faces done. So I understand, the need for it, because there's no FAQs coming out lately. There hasn't been an FAQ for a while, like a year, right? They did a lot of FAQs last year and then they stopped doing it this year. I don't know why GW's not doing them, frankly. It's kind of silly that they're not, because they need a lot of FAQs. And so with these rules, a lot of the time people vote on them. And I don't know about the whole voting system, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've been thinking very heavily about it. It is nice that a large group of wargamers can get together and agree on the rules, but a vote isn't necessarily an agreement. And the problems with voting is you may not be voting with your head. You may be voting with your heart, in the sense that, I don't know, my biggest problem with that is like, if there's a vote on a rule, and let's say it's for Tau, the new Tau Codex, and there's a lot of really potentially broken rules in the new Tau Codex, people can kind of gang up on the Tau and punish them for the vote, right? Because if a lot of people are like, no, that's too broken, let's remove it. So they can, right, by nerfing it through their vote. But the vote should be on whether or not you interpret the rules as such, not if you want the rules as such. Because then otherwise you have the power to change the rules based on what you want, not what necessarily you think. And that's a little too powerful to me. Another thing is that you assume that everyone has really good knowledge of the rules that they're voting on, right? But it is nice that they have this FAQ system in place. I do like that a little bit and stuff, but I don't know what to think. I don't know. What are your thoughts? That's my first question to you. What are your thoughts on these big organizations doing or the big rule voting ones? Do you think they're good? Are they good for 40K? Or not good for 40K? Because, I don't know. They have the ability to, nerf things if they really want. And the thing is, the community can kind of gang up on codices if they feel that they're overpowered. They can just be like, well, I vote against it, right? To balance, they quote unquote balance.
but we shouldn't. It's a really, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of. Obviously, sometimes a tournament I want to go to it. I understand that I have to submit to the rules of the tournament, but I don't really like a lot of the rules of the tournament sometimes because, like, people really gang up on super heavies, and I don't understand why because they're really powerful. But I like super heavies. I had a great time playing Imperial Knights the other day, and I did not feel like I was overpowered because, of course, the rules were in place to to hurt Imperial Knights, obviously, but and if they weren't there, I probably would have walked over all my opponents. But I like playing them. They're a fun army. They're cool looking, and I like playing with 5 models. And now a lot of time they're banned. People won't let them, or like there's a I don't know. Like at Adepticon, for example, the championship tournament, you can't play Imperial Knights. But it's an army. It was an army created by GW. It has a codex, right? It has its trade-offs, its goods, its bads. But tournament people are like, you know what? I think that's too powerful. So we're not going to allow it. And that kind of annoys me because I like them. But of course, it's their tournament, their rules. Like, as I said, I completely respect. I did Brawl recently, and I respect David Watson and his rules. It's his tournament. He can make them however he wishes. I just oh man, I feel like people really pick it on the Knights. You know? And that's the thing. That's the one thing I do respect a lot more about War Machine is that Privateer Press is so involved in the rules that there's no real needed, for this situation. They don't. Sorry, no committee of to like ITC. So. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Definitely some pros, definitely some cons. I'm not 100% for or against it, to be honest. Hmm. Cool. Another guy done. Yeah. Just been working a lot. I'm tired. Some days I have been a little bit burned out energy wise just because of the amount I work and then the amount of work time I dedicate to making videos. This guy is wearing a glove, but I'm going to pretend he's not. Just make it that way. I don't think it's supposed to be a glove. Alright, I think it's just overprimed. These guys were in a group of miniatures that my friend kind of didn't really prepare correctly, so I've been having to re-prepare them. But yeah, they're looking good. So the next week I'll probably be working on some crossbow guys. And then after that, I don't know. Then a lot of the guys that my friend's prepared himself will be nice and cleaned and properly painted and looking good. Mm-hmm. Looking good. I don't know what color I'm going to paint the bows. I'll decide that after. That won't be on this week's episode of Painting with Jay. No, we're at 34 minutes. The skin is probably going to take me the rest of the time because I'll be doing multiple coats. What a good year. And Christmas plans. Right now, I'm still trying to finalize my Christmas plans. I'm probably not going to have the same ones as my siblings because I it's fair. Like, and all the married couples out there, or all the couples in relationships, you guys know that you got to compromise. And my family has had my wife and I on Christmas Day for like several years in a row. Mostly because my in-laws didn't really need us there on Christmas Day with their plans. But then this year they do want us there on Christmas Day, so I think it's only fair to go to my in-laws' house because, right? You gotta compromise, and that's the key to a relationship, right? Compromise. So. So I think that'll be that. And I'll just have to tell my siblings, tough luck. Yeah. These guys are going to be awesome. I'm excited. This is one of the squads I was kind of really looking forward to painting. They have a good look to them. The next week are going to be the caped guys. They're going to be mostly green. You know, I think I'm going to paint that center part green. But that'll be okay. I'll do the faces first. And then later on I'll clean up the greens after this. Yeah, it's pouring rain outside. I actually like it. I still can't get the song November Rain out of my head. Whenever it rains, I said in November. It's in my head. Because it's hard to hold a candle in the cold November rain. Do you need some time? I'm not going to sing, sorry. But November Rain, Guns N' Roses. One of my favorite songs of all time. Sorry. Robitussin. Yeah, I definitely should get a Q&J back up. Because it's great interactive. If I can't do a live show today or something, I should definitely do a Q&J. Today I was watching just TV for a few minutes, and earlier episode from the week for Jimmy Kimmel was on, and Jimmy Kimmel does these things now Mashup Mondays apparently, and it's cool. Like this week's mashup was Stone Temple Pilots and Joss Stone, so it was called the Joss Stone Temple Pilots, and they sang Interstate Love Song. It was really good. That was kind of cool. Yeah, my friends are going to like these guys. My friends definitely like them. There we go. So this week, next I'm just going to use some best score flesh, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. But this week, my painting tutorial, I'll zoom out for a second, is this. The Silicon Administratum. Ooh. So if you want to know how I painted it up, it took a long time with all the golds. Long time. Very long time. But it was fun painting a piece of terrain for once, and I thought it looked good. A little Christmassy because the greens and the reds, but it's okay. So that's this week's paint tutorial on War. Go ahead and check that out. I think you'll love it, or at least like it very much. And so now we're just gonna take some Bestigor flesh. Keep working on the flesh areas. Get them done. I don't know, I'll probably not even be able to finish them up today. I'll probably just finish at the Rakeland Flesh Age step, because we're already about 40 minutes in. I'm not really feeling 100%, so I'm not going to go that much past an hour. At least, I love the feeling when the sick meds kick in. You're like, oh, like instantly you can breathe again. I love that. And then they slowly wear off, and you're like, oh. I saw the trailer for Captain America Civil War. I think it'll be good. The thing is, the funny part about Captain America Civil War, it's basically like a civil war within the Avengers, right? Not all the Avengers are really in it, the Civil War. Some of them are. Like, obviously, I'm looking forward to these, like Black Panther's going to be here in this one. But the thing is, the teams aren't really that fairly balanced in Civil War. Like, Captain America's obviously on Captain America's team. With Loki, it'll probably be Captain America, Loki, Black Widow, Falcon, But versus, I'm pretty sure the Hulk is going to be on team Iron Man. So Iron Man and Rhodey, so War Machine. Those two guys alone are like two, weapons of mass destructions. The Hulk, who can kill a god, and Hawkeye. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it'll be a good storyline. I really liked these Avengers movies. The only weak parts of the Marvel Galaxy movies so far have been the Iron Man movies. Like Iron Man 2 was not good. I actually really liked The Winter Soldier, so. I'm really looking forward to Suicide Squad. That'll be good. Obviously, Star Wars coming out in a couple weeks. I'm not going to see it the day it comes out, but that'll be good. It's going to do very well, I'm guessing. Very, very well. So, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I have a lot of faith that it's going to be good. It has a good director, good writers, good team behind it, good actors. So, no Jar Jar, hopefully. It was my new friend Brent's birthday the other day, so I wished him a happy birthday on Facebook. I said, hopefully your birthday's as good as Jar Jar Binks is bad. It's crazy. The thing is about War Machine models is that some of them aren't really that detailed, or they're relatively simple to paint. Some of them, these ones are not bad. So after a few colors, you can already see them really start to come together already. And really, they're only 3-color minimum at the moment. So. Yeah. I'll decide what color I'm going to paint their bows. Probably either metallic or brown. I think silver, like metal bows would be kind of cool, but probably brown maybe for the wood. I'll look at the pictures and see on the website. Apparently, Peter Jackson in an interview this week apologized and said he didn't know what he was doing while filming The Hobbit. A lot of the time, he was just making it up as he went along. I really enjoyed the Hobbit movies, and obviously not as much as Lord of the Rings. And I know Peter Jackson was kind of thrown into the role of director. He wasn't supposed to be a director originally. He was supposed to be just, I think, producer or something. It was supposed to be, what's his name? I forget his name. Pan's Labyrinth guy. Felicio Del Toro? Del Toro. Del Toro for sure. I forget his first name. Felicio? Del Toro? No. And in a recent interview, George Lucas apparently said if he was to be one character in the Star Wars universe, he'd be Jar Jar Binks. George Lucas. What's he trying to do to us? Good. This is good. This is not going to take a long time at all today. We'll do the shade, and then we'll return to the green areas. Or maybe brown areas for a bit, maybe the quiver or something. Whenever I have a shade drawing, I obviously intentionally avoid painting the corresponding area, the neighboring areas, right? Yeah. I should have taken a before and an after picture. But beforehand, there's still a small group of them, but there's before these models were primed and I fixed them up, cleaned them, primed them, based them. They were just like a mess like this. If I zoom out, look at all these models. This is they're just painted, based, but not properly, or like that, or this partially painted, a couple colors on them, or this one doesn't even have a correct base. That's what they kind of look like. So, and now I'm transforming them slowly into nicely painted models, and that's the key. Let's make sure it's back and focused on. Let me look up quickly while I'm here. Let's figure out the color of the bows, because actually I might paint the bows right now. Because I really can't paint... I can't paint the green areas right now because there's too many flesh tones going to be washed in a second. So let me quickly figure out what am I going to paint for the bows. For the quivers, I'm going to do brown. I'll probably do a light brown. I'm probably not going to do dark brown for the bows, I'm thinking. Let me see. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the standard color scheme for Retribution of Syrah, and I know the conversion colors. And by conversion colors, I mean, I know my friend Andy wants, instead of the whites, he wants blues. Instead of the one color, he wants greens, and so forth. And also find out what these guys are called. They're called Stormfall Archers. Metallic. Alright. And that's what I'll go with. Yeah. What should I do right now? Let's give them a quick wash with Rico Fresh Shade. And then we'll maybe return to the greens and get as much done as we can on them. Good. I think it's 6 o'clock now. There's a giant school clock near us. I can always hear the ringing at noon, or at the hour. somebody's going to be quite happy with these guys. That's all I'm saying. Two squads of them. Watching some Christmas movies. My favorite Christmas movie is Ernest Saves Christmas, by far. I love it. That and Elf with Will Ferrell. But Ernest Saves Christmas is one of my favorite movies. There's so many good quotable lines. My favorite one is when they're stuck like up in the air and he goes, and they're stuck on a sleigh, basically. It's in perfect balance. And he's like, nobody moves. Nobody dies. Or at the beginning he's singing, "Oh Christmas Tree." He's like, "Oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree." And just keeps singing "Oh Christmas Tree" repeatedly. It was a great movie. I miss Jim Varney. He was a great actor. Speaking of Jim Varney, the guy who played Ernest, many people didn't know he was actually like a trained Shakespearean actor. And so one of my favorite videos of him all time was just a candid video of him quoting a lot. I think it was from Hamlet, a line from a Shakespearean play. And then going, "Know what I mean, Vern?" And it was kind of sad that he got typecast into that role of goofiness when he was actually such a good actor. But then, of course, he passed away, unfortunately. Man, it goes so much quicker when there's only 8 of them versus 12. These guys will definitely be done before next week. That means over the last 2 weeks, I would have painted 20 models for my friend. It's not bad. And then next week, I think there's a next group is, I think, 10. Maybe 12, but I think it's 10. So that'll be good. Let's see, what days? Christmas Day is on, I guess Boxing Day is 24th, or sorry, Christmas Eve is 24th. Is a Thursday. So I don't know. I probably will take a break in 2 weeks for a week. You know? Probably. I'll probably do that, yeah. And then just take a week off, relax, see family, and come back, work on videos. We'll see. All right, that's done. I can carefully go over the greens. I'll do that. And I'll just ignore the green areas that are touching the flesh. And then, good shape. Look at these guys. I'm nowhere near done, but I can already see them done. I can see kind of what I think the final product will look like in my head. And I like what I see. Let's keep working on the green areas for about 10 more minutes, and then we'll call it an episode. I don't know. What am I looking forward to the most during the Christmas break? Probably seeing my family, relaxing for a few minutes. I'm such a busybody lately. I'm practically a workaholic because I can't not work at my other job because I need the money, and I can't not work at this job because I love making videos, and my future of my channel depends on it, right? I can't just not make videos and expect to get anywhere. No one would subscribe to the Warp if I didn't make videos for the Warp, and no one would subscribe to my free content if I didn't make any videos. Actually, apparently people sometimes do. But, so I gotta work hard, and I still work hard and produce as many videos as I can, and it takes up a lot of time. So I'm excited to just relax and chill for a few days, maybe even a week. Maybe I'll take a week off, we'll see, depending on how good I am feeling. But we'll see, and depending on how good I'm feeling. I can't wait. I haven't had a vacation in a little while. So, what am I not looking forward to the most? The driving. I'm going to be driving a lot, like 17 hours in 3 or 4 days, probably. A lot of driving. That's okay. I don't see my family very often. I'm not very close with them, to be honest. I've never really been close to my family. So, but yeah, that'd be nice seeing them. I gotta still figure. I have started my Christmas shopping. I talked about that last week. I have started my Christmas shopping, but I got to get more done. Probably over the next week or so, I'll probably tackle some more Christmas shopping. Because I want to get done. Unfortunately, we still have to figure out what to get my in-laws ever since the CBC thing fell through. I think I talked about it last week. We bought my in-laws some tickets for the CBC show, and unfortunately, the whole month got canceled because the host is very ill, and it's very unfortunate. I wish him nothing but the best, for sure. Can't believe it's pouring rain. I'm just glad it's not snowing. Like, I looked at photos. My wife put up photos last year of the dogs playing in the snow at this time of year. It was like 1 year ago, on Facebook, and we had tons of snow, tons and tons of snow. And this year we don't. And I'm okay with that. If snow doesn't come for another couple weeks, I'm really happy with that. I know I'm Canadian, so I can't really say anything about snow, but it's just it's nice. You know what? I don't mind the rain because I can walk in the rain easily, but snow, I don't. And plus, I can ride in the rain on my motorcycle. Snow is a different story. I don't really want to ride in the snow. So. Yeah, so my goal is tonight to film a Q&J, finally get it back on the track. That'll be a relatively successful day. Weeks, and this week free content got 4 or 5 videos, and that's a successful week in my opinion. By the way, several of you people have been actually thinking of me, and that's really awesome of you. Mini Wargame recently put up a video asking for more tutorial painters. And a lot of people threw out my name and then referred me to the video and stuff, and I really appreciate you thinking out for me. I will politely decline to apply. The reason being is I make my own videos for me. And like the warp depends on painting tutorials, so I can't make, I couldn't go back to Mini Wargaming and do the warp, right? It would not make sense. I do miss those guys sometimes. But I really love this opportunity that I have right now to go out and make something of myself. And I will not, I could not do that if I made videos for Mini Wargaming, right? It just wouldn't make any sense. So I really do, I thank you everyone who threw my name out there at the beginning to them and said I should go for it, and who sent me the link. But I'm not going to apply. I hope you understand. I do hope you understand that because if I made videos for the vault, sorry. Again, the warp would not be worth for people because they'd already get my videos in the vault. So it would be kind of not necessarily selling out or anything, but it would be in a sense me throwing in the towel because there's no way the warp would succeed in the long run. And on top of that, Mini Wargaming, last time I used to make painting tutorials for the Mini Wargaming at one point. The thing is, I was a YouTuber beforehand. I was not a Mini Wargamer J before. I was Mini Wargamer J on YouTube before I was Mini Wargamer J at miniwargaming.com. And what was I saying? the problem is I know there are agreements, and Matt and I had an exclusive agreement that if I wouldn't paint anything similar on my own channel. And the problem is I have so many painting tutorials of so many different types of armies. Like I've pretty much covered every army in Warhammer 40k through all my videos, right? And that would be a conflict as well. So, but I very much appreciate you all thinking about me when they saw the video, and I really do. But my videos, if you want to see my videos, you simply you can sign up for the Warp, and right now it's 50% off because it's a Black Friday sale. And yeah, I'm not upset. I'm not by any means offended or anything. I very much appreciate you thinking about me. I just couldn't. I think you understand why. And I forgot to paint the backpacks. The little parts on there, little roll up parts, sleeping bags or whatever. Yeah. So after this guy, I'm gonna call it after him. He's done. And there we go. That's it. That's all the greens. So that concludes another episode of Painting with Jay. I really hope you got some stuff done and painted along with me. So my big question is, what do you think about voting for rules for tournaments like ITC? As I said, I'm kind of on the fence. There's some definite pros, definite cons. What do you think? And most importantly, thank you for watching and painting along with me. I really hope you got stuff done, and you're seeing a great year of painting as I have. Remember to check out the Warp this weekend. It will be half off for all the monthly memberships, so only $3 or equivalent in your currency a month. And yeah, stay tuned for next week's episode. As always, until next time, this is Jay saying happy painting with me.